everyone, what's up? This is Tanya Zucco. Hope you are having an amazing week. I'm a functional medicine practitioner and a high performance health consultant, and I'm passionate about helping women 40 plus look, feel, and perform their best by mastering their hormones, losing fat, and gaining muscle. And today, the topic that comes up a lot with my clients is intermittent fasting. And the question often is that they hear the intermittent fasting is good for fat loss. So why are you telling me that I shouldn't be doing it? So specifically with regards to women, right, as we're in our 40s and up, and we're looking to, not only be pretty sitting on the couch, but we want to be energized and we want to perform our best. That's who I'm speaking to here with this, okay? So first, let's cover what is intermittent fasting, okay? So intermittent fasting is essentially a period of time where you don't eat, okay? The classic 16-8 is where you don't eat for 16 hours, okay? You fast for 16 hours and you eat for 8 hours. Alternatively, there's different ways you can do intermittent fasting. Some people do intermittent fasting up to a day or two, okay? Now, why do people do intermittent fasting? Well, essentially what it is you are calorically restricting yourself for that period of time. So by means of caloric restriction, it can lead to weight loss and fat loss, okay? It obviously decreases calories for a specified amount of time, and so it decreases the amount of calories that you eat, and then averaged out over the week, it helps to decrease your caloric intake. It's also been shown to improve lipids, to decrease triglycerides and the bad lipids in your blood, and it's also been shown to decrease blood glucose, which is a good thing, all things that help to keep our metabolism feeling good and healthy, okay? So the question is then, can women fast? Well, yes and no, and this is what I'm going to discuss today. It's not that some women can't have good results from fasting, but I'm going to go over why women tend to be more sensitive to fasting. So let's go over that difference. So it all starts with the hypopituitary gonadal axis, the HPGA axis, okay? This axis is where all of the signaling for your hormones begins, okay? So the hypothalamus secretes a hormone called the gonadotrophic releasing hormone. This then tells the pituitary to secrete LH, which is luteinizing hormone, or FSH, follicular stimulating hormone, which then tells the ovaries to secrete estrogen and progesterone, or progesterone, depending on where you are in your cycle, okay? Secretes this in a nice balanced form, as it should, hopefully. And then this circles back to the hypothalamus saying, we're good, everything is good, everything's functioning as it should, okay? So where we're a little bit different as women, okay, is we have this neuron that is secreted from the hypothalamus called kisspeptin, okay? We have more of this neuron than men do. And what kisspeptin does is it is detecting calories. So what happens when kisspeptin doesn't detect enough calories, it tells the other part of the hypothalamus that usually secretes the gonadotrophic releasing hormone, it says, whoa, stop, don't release anymore, okay? Don't release anymore because we don't need more estrogen and progesterone, and this is why, okay? In general, estrogen, progesterone in women is tied to fertility, which is tied to pregnancy, which is tied to having babies and feeding those babies. And that requires calories. It requires more calories than men do, okay? So that is why we are far more sensitive to that caloric restriction than men are, okay? Because it's a protective mechanism that we have to make sure that we don't go having babies without having enough calories to make that happen, okay, to help our baby thrive. So, so that in a nutshell is why we are quite different than men in that regard. So, okay, here I am talking to women 40s plus, looking to feel, look better, perform better. Maybe you're thinking, that's awesome. I don't need a period anymore, and I'm not worried about fertility. I'm done with that. Okay. Well, estrogen and progesterone have very important implications outside of fertility, okay? As a lot of the clients that I work with, and perhaps you guys listening, you know this, right? As you're in that 40s and plus age, you realize the implications of having decreased hormone levels, okay? Estrogen is very important in recovery. It aids in sleep. It aids in digestion, it aids in mood, and also estrogen helps to decrease appetite, okay? All good things, and all things that we notice go a little awry when we start to have a decrease in estrogen. So outside of the cycle and having periods, again, estrogen and progesterone have huge implications to our well-being and how we feel and look and perform. So who shouldn't be doing intermittent fasting? Well, if you are listening and you're 37, 38, 39, 40 plus, you're maybe starting to feel some changes within the body. You're doing things you used to do. You're not really able to lose fat like you used to. Just, you're not sleeping as well. Mood is a little off. Brain fog. Energy isn't where it needs to be. Okay, you're likely experiencing the changes with hormones that can often happen, okay? And so intermittent fasting is likely not the best thing for you to do. So then you might say, well, okay, fine. Well, then how do I still gain some of those benefits of intermittent fasting, right? Of fat loss, of better blood glucose management, of better lipid management. Well, there's many other ways with regards to diet and lifestyle to be able to, see those types of results. And what I recommend with my clients instead of intermittent fasting is we do what I call an eating window, okay? And essentially what that is we eat within a window of 11 to 12 hours. And it's a little bit different for everyone. It takes us figuring out what's going to be the best for you based on, where you are, what you're experiencing, and goals. But by sticking to that eating window, what we are still allowing our body to do is to have that recovery within that 12 to 13 hour period where we're not digesting food. And here's just one example of one thing that happens during that sort of digestive rest is HGH, which again is secreted by the pituitary gland. It tells the liver to secrete an insulin-like factor. And what that insulin-like factor does, it helps with cartilage growth, helps with bone and muscle recovery and muscle growth, okay? And all those things can't happen when the liver is focusing on detoxification or digestion, okay? So lots of good things happen in that eating window without having to do that sort of moderate to severe caloric restriction of intermittent fasting that can really mess up our hormones. So hope this was helpful for you guys and gave you some insight. If you have any questions, I'd love to answer and chat with you about them. If you think this would be helpful for someone, please do share it. And have a great evening. I will catch you guys on the flip side.